Hello and welcome to Paper Tuesdays with Michael Dwyer and Marc Halpin. Episode 62, is it?
It'd be good, yeah. Marc, luminous helping. I'm
Yeah,
loving this look.
I went for it. It's very loud. I can't really wear it in public.
Yeah.
But
Marc, a big news story coming from Westmeath. I spotted it there just as I was preparing for the 2FM Mayo. So it's news coming from a Westmeath couple who were remaining anonymous, right? And they claim to have viewed a UFO for 8 minutes. And they've reported it there to the National UFO Reporting Centre. So the report filed anonymously by a 43-year-old said that on May 4th, he called his partner because they were in the bed and he happened to look out the window and he saw what he says was a big circle shape, flashing lights and changing colours, green, red, yellow and blue. And then it was described as huge. It was definitely not a drone. And they were looking up in shock. And then they tried to record it. But then as soon as they did so, it flew off and it was as if they knew I wanted to record it. And they added then that they tend to be skeptical and she had never previously believed in UFOs.
we have a national UFO
I think this
centre.
I'd say this went to America.
America.
The
home of the UFOs.
Well, I know we've talked about UFOs now 3 weeks in a row, but this is extraordinary, isn't it?
It's getting a bit out of hand, isn't it? Things are picking up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like what Terence McKenna says about time, that he says that time is always getting faster. And the UFO sightings are becoming more common now. Yeah, and more. Do you get that with McKenna?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. I don't really get the time speeding up thing. He talks a lot of strange.
Time.
Like
that is very out there. Like, how do you describe? It's just life is busier now, or like how everything is instant now. And I suppose it is, but like you take that for granted as a sign of progress through technology.
You do. Like I took a few days off social media there for a while, and things do slow down.
Right.
Because I even said it to Breed. I was talking to her about it, and she, I downloaded Instagram to post something on the Paper Tuesdays page after being off it for a couple of days. And as soon as I put my phone down, the next time I picked it up, I went straight to look into Instagram, but I deleted it after I used it. So straight away, I was wanting to get back to that, because it's like going, when you don't have social media, it's like going, and then you go straight into social media. It's like going from mass into a circus, because you have everything just like bang straight in front of your face. Yeah. All these people doing all these things. Yeah. Whereas before it was kind of like silence. It was more, I think Robert Greene, the author, posted something, or it's actually in his book, Laws of Human Nature, that I've been reading. And it's that these social media platforms aren't media for quiet reflection. They're for the opposite. They're to invoke feelings and invoke certain emotions that will keep you engaged with it. So there's no time for a quiet reflection. There's no time for looking back and, analyzing things in your own life, which it makes sense. Time is speeding up. It's all getting faster. We're not slowing down. We're not reflecting. We're going in the opposite way.
No, I don't know. Oh, we were to have a chat with Ryan Davin, and anyway, that's.
So we're going completely off the cuff here, right? Fuck it, let's go. Let's see what we can find. I'm going to give away a little secret here.
Okay.
I've been finding my latest news stories off Reddit, off different subreddits. Reddit is the fucking gem. Yeah. Now it's a gem, and it's also a heap of shit in most places.
Yeah.
So it's off various threads on Reddit. I get it. So this one is called News of the Stupid.
Right.
So I'll find an article here. So Rob Schneider suggests using guns against the potential of a third vaccine. So Rob Schneider is the guy from the Adam Sandler films, Group Hug in the Showers Tonight. Do you ever see that one?
No,
that's him. You know him.
Oh, vaguely familiar. But anyway, I'm sure our listeners will know.
So Rob Schneider's vaccine take still backs getting it. We ran into for starters, minefield issues to discuss. Rob Schneider seems to be saying that the best way to ward off COVID vaccine is with an old Nancy Reagan campaign on drugs. And if that doesn't work, maybe some flash ammo. Right. The actor, known for his comedic roles in Adam Sandler movies, etc., was in no joking mood Saturday upon hearing some news that a third vaccine jab might be around the corner, as reports surfaced that the effects of the first two are wearing off in a matter of months.
No way. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's breaking news on Paper Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Rob Schneider did.
Right.
So Rob Schneider says, just say no and keep saying no. Over half the US population is continuing to say no in this unapproved experimental gene therapy. In the quotation marks, my body, my choice. # Second Amendment is for this.
Oh, and there he is evoking it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So no more group hugs in the showers tonight. Get your guns. The Americans now want to use guns against COVID.
Right.
So
okay.
We'll get our AR-15s out and shoot the invisible virus.
Yeah. Wow.
No, if they come out with
That's
this
a
fucking
new
third
term.
vaccine, that's bullshit. Absolutely
Yeah.
no way. I haven't even got one yet. I'll be fucking dead of something else before I get the third one.
Wow.
I love
This
a vaccine.
is mad. You love a vaccine?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the truth of all the stuff I've been saying about all the vaccine. I do want them. And the only reason I actually want one now is because I won't be able to eat in restaurants if I don't get one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've drawn my hand there with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't the gas with the vaccine like it's kind of like I don't know, it feels like now with this conversation starting in America that it was all China at the start because sure that's where the virus started, and now it's how you deal with the virus. So all right, we need a third shot, lads, and you're gonna have to take it. And America is like, no. America says no.
America would be the ones to say no, wouldn't they?
Oh yeah. So even the comedians are saying like Biden said in a conference we'll be knocking at your door, and then the comedians had these things of like someone from Biden administration knocking on someone's door saying, "Now I'm just going to have to get you to take this."
It just shows it in them.
Yeah.
Ireland wouldn't be the ones to say no, though, would they? It would be kind of like, fine, sure, fuck it, go on, take it.
Yeah. I tell you, historians will have a field day with the COVID, how we react to it, because it's all reacting in the moment. Like, it's...
How did they deal with different ones? Like, how did we deal with the Spanish flu? We just kind of let the weak die, was it?
I don't... It spread. People didn't know about it. The reason why it was called the Spanish flu was because it wasn't censored in Spain. So, because they caught word of it, then it was because they released about news about it. Then they called it the Spanish flu. But it just spread like wildfire. They didn't really. There was no prevention mechanism, the measures or anything like. There was a sad story actually in Gorey where. They were burying someone from it, and then they went back to the house, and other people in the family had died from it. So like that's how rampant. I suppose you'd take it for granted.
They died that soon with it, like.
Yeah, like it was a deadly flu, like clearly. Yeah. We always get back to the old COVID. Like.
The UK may soon ban boiling lobsters alive in a landmark bill that acknowledges that crustaceans and mollusks too are sentient beings. So Jordan Peterson coming into play there, saving the lobsters.
Yeah.
Centimeters. Have you ever had a lobster?
No.
Ash?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had it from like boiled? Is that the only way you have it?
Lobster.
Yeah.
No, I've had a lobster. Oh God, what's it called? The rice thing.
The rice thing.
Oh my God.
Sushi.
Yeah.
Oh yes. No.
Paella.
Yes. So you didn't actually pick out your lobster from the tank and all. No. I've seen it though. Have you seen the lobsters in restaurants?
Yeah,
it's very strange. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, so that's in England now. You can't get that service.
Yeah,
right?
I've seen them being cooked in a restaurant though.
Just thrown into pot alive.
In the pot. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
How would you describe it? Are you happy enough with it?
See, they're kind of like the ones that I would have seen. They would have been like in a fridge. They wouldn't have been taken straight out of a tank.
Oh,
they
right.
Don't squeal. They like when in cartoons and everything, like when they're thrown into the pot, they squeal.
Right.
If they do that, I think if they've been taken directly out of a tank and put straight into a boiling pot of water. But if they've been out of water for like
they're on the way out
for a long length of time, I think they're already kind of like half comatose, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right. You're doing them a favor, really.
Yeah, whether that's more or less cruel, I don't know. But
yeah, that's very interesting.
And they're probably happier in the bottom of the ocean, aren't they? Well, no, I got a carvery dinner there in the Ashdown the other day, and that cow, used to be a cow.
It did, yeah.
There's no difference. Why is the difference? I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
I
we're doing a Love Gory video, and like we did move from Kyormany Farm to Redmond Farmhouse Burger. Like,
Yeah, there has to be some sort of cognitive dissonance. Nowadays, it's like you're not really doing that wrong. You just blank it out, like. But sure, the other end of that is being a vegan, and sure, that's worse.
It's gas that we and Roshi for sure on. It didn't change us one bit.
No,
sorry, Roshi. That's just the way it is. No.
I did have more compassion for turtles, though.
The turtles.
And I always have. I wouldn't eat a turtle.
I'd say you'd have it for ducks as well. Quacks.
Quacks, yeah.
Yes. And Milford.
Shout out Avian.
Are one of our patrons. Locals welcome newcomers at Milford Weir. This is in Carlow, and the residents there have let out 25 ducks onto the barrow. and mink and other predators have posed a threat to the local ducks, and so they've added it there. And Tom Kelly of Balnabrana, Milford, Raheen Dorn Development Group, top class group, fair play to
Shout out.
Namas, shout. Says that it's great to have them in the area. The children get great value from them. I bring my 2 little grandchildren and they love it. I'm sure they do. Generally, their mortality is very good and they are there a long time. They go away and breed and come back. They are looked after. They are part of the community. I love that. They're part of the community. They're the same lads that do the lotto. They're just the same lads that drink their pints on a Friday night. They're one of us. Now, there you are now. Isn't that great?
That is great.
The Gun Club in Old Loughlin has provided ducks in the past as part of conservation efforts. Oh, there's another cognitive. Why is the Gun Club doing that? They're the ones shooting them.
Yeah.
Anyway, fair play to them. And separately, around 50 ducks have recently been added to the barrow in the Loughlin Bridge and Bagnallstown area. So fair play to County Carlow and their ducks.
Congrats, lads.
Yeah.
Ducks are the ultimate predator.
Are they?
Do you know that?
No.
Because they have mastered land, sea, and air.
Oh,
They can do it all.
very interesting.
Yeah. No, they don't actually predate anything, so that kind of doesn't make them the ultimate predator, but they're the ultimate prey.
Yeah, they're. Yeah, you can tell by their. Have you ever had a duck egg?
Yes.
Fierce protein in that now.
There is
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of fat in it.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of fat, very high in fat, very
Yeah.
satiating. I like it now. I'm a big fan of an old duck egg.
Mm.
Antarctica, Michael.
What about it?
Just a nice little segue there. So in Antarctica, they reckon there's around 1,000 to 1,100 people live on Antarctica.
Really?
Yeah, and they reckon that the max number of a community where everyone knows each other in it is somewhere around 11 to 1,200. Oh, sorry, there's 1,000 to 1,100 in it. So there is there's a theory there to say that everyone who lives on Antarctica knows each other personally,
Oh,
which is
wow.
cool. And Antarctica is a continent, like,
Jane,
so everybody who lives on the continent knows each other.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to go there?
Yeah, oh, I would, yeah. But it takes so long to get there. I don't know
Really?
if you can even fly there. I think you have to go on a boat. I think you go from the bottom of South America
Right.
down on a boat into Antarctica from there.
Yeah.
And there's parts of Antarctica that no one has ever flown over, so they don't know what it looks like.
Wow. Jamie, man.
And they reckon some parts of it could be warm.
Really?
Apparently so.
That's incredible.
That is.
And wouldn't you love to know the story of any of these people that are in Antarctica? If you're in Antarctica and you have your Wi-Fi, thanks to Air Fibre Broadband, if you want to
Or Wizzy.
reach out to us, or Wizzy, yes, I'm sure Wizzy reaches out. That's a good one, Mark.
Yeah.
Did you know, Mark, according to the Offaly Independent, that over 95% of our cut flowers, the ones that you buy in a flower shop, they're imported, and it involves significant air miles. And so the Irish cut flower growers are growing, so to speak, as they wish to provide a homegrown and sustainable alternative.
Oh, very good.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
One woman is Fiona Ferguson. There's Fiona with her flowers. Shout out, Fiona.
Shout out.
And Fiona used to farm bees, but now she's been doing cut flowers for the past 4 years. So fair play to her. It's all about the environment. And she says that there's a lot of plastic packaging and bringing them over here. And now she's cultivating floral abundance on her own farm. It's a part-time enterprise, but it's growing well. And so, she sells it at the farmer's market. And I suppose it's just another notion that we're going to embrace here in Ireland.
Notion is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to play devil's advocate here, right?
Okay, go.
Now, I'm not saying I believe this stance. I'm just putting this stance out there. Is there any fucking point in any of this? In letting the hedges grow for the bees, or like not buying your flowers from England,
Right?
Because we're moving close or to the sun at a rapid rate. They reckon, was it like 9 million years or something? We're going to get too close for life to sustain itself here.
Right.
It's going to happen anyway.
I heard it somewhere, I can't remember where, but like it kind of put this whole problem or environmental thing back on us. So why do we want to save the planet? It's because we want to save us, because we think like the planet is going to be fine no matter what, lads.
Yeah.
It's more human beings, it's a more survival instinct of we need to save the planet because we're at stake.
We need to save our genes. Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we are a fucking cancer on the planet, aren't we? I know it's a terrible way of looking at it, but like,
isn't there a fella that argued against Peterson or something that that the human being, we shouldn't bring humans into the world?
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was in
get
his
that.
book. Yeah, no, I don't get that either. It's a intrinsic thing to us, isn't it, to propagate our genes and make sure they keep going on and on. That's kind of the only important thing to us. But like, if you look at cities and you look at like mining and fracking and things like this, like we're destroying the earth itself, the thing that sustains us, to create things for ourselves, technology and cars and fossil fuels and stuff like this. Like we're eating into the thing that actually gives us life for our own benefit, like, and we're destroying other species to do it as well. I know I just said vegans are stupid, but like, and I don't believe this stance either. Like I'm on the other side. Like I think that from the selfish point of view, we should be trying to, make life better for humans. But there's a 50-50 there. Like there's a dichotomy. Like
there is. Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing is bad, isn't it? Like, and it's just, sure, it's a minefield as well. Like when you think about, like, I think the storage it takes for our phones, it has an environmental impact as well, doesn't it? Like, I think there's no end to this really. That the data is backed up through, like, the more data that we have on our phones, the more it needs to be backed up, and the more that needs to be backed up than in the cloud. Yeah, but how do we power the cloud? Only through machines.
Where is the cloud?
Yeah, good question.
What is the cloud? Who is the tax man? Russia, Michael.
Oh yeah,
Rory Heffernan. Shout out Rory. Shout out his Snapchat stories. So Rory had a picture on his story of an atlas, basically, saying they made Russia way too big. Look at that, like, absolutely no need for it. Look at the size of Russia. It is so big. And that's all run by Putin.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it?
It's such a, like, are they a communist state?
They used to be anyway. They don't, but they're not really democracy anyway. They're not. I don't. Are they socialist?
10 fun facts about Russia.
Oh, that's great.
Moscow has more billionaires per capita than anywhere else in the world.
Wow, Jamie Mac.
79, according to Forbes.
Jamie.
Moscow has the third busiest metro in the world.
Oh,
boring. Russians are taught not to smile in school.
Wow. Why is that?
Russia regularly takes place in the world's least friendly countries on lists of the world's least friendly countries. Yeah. I personally think that Russians are misunderstood. Our G Adventure CEO, Daria, told us that Russians are taught not to smile in school. And despite being met with scowls, most Russians were friendly and willing to help us translate or point us in the right direction when temporarily lost.
But it's still, maybe I didn't catch it. Why did they not want us to smile in school?
It doesn't say why. It just says that they do.
Right.
Russians have a lot of superstitions. So from rubbing a dog's paw, but only with your left hand, for money, to making a wish if you could successfully toss a coin into Peter the Great's boot. We learned a lot about superstitions. I read that Arseways. They have a lot of superstitions. Russian brides go on a city tour after getting married. Russian women really do walk around in 6-inch heels. If you spent 2 minutes looking at each exhibit in the Hermitage, it would take you 6 years to see everything.
Wow. So that must be a museum that they have.
Wow, the Hermitage.
That's incredible.
The village of Suzdal is only 15 square kilometers, but has an incredible 53 churches. St. Petersburg has 3 times as many bridges as Venice.
Wow.
The Trans-Siberian Railway crosses 8 time zones and goes through 87 cities and towns and crosses 16 rivers, including the Volga.
Wow. That's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you ever like to have grown up in a different country? Would you like to have
I was thinking about this today. I can't remember where it was. Texas. I would like to have been from Texas. Yeah. There was I was watching a video of a news article in somewhere in Vancouver, and they were giving about these vandals that were vandalizing with graffiti on the walls, and they were putting obscene things but it was like words that weren't really curse words, but they were putting like anus and shaft up really high on buildings so they couldn't clean them off. And one of them came to the last one was Big Texas Comer. Someone had wrote on the wall. I just thought that was fantastic. So yes, I'd like to be a big Texas comer.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
What about you? Where would you like to be from?
Italy, I'd say.
Italy?
Yeah, Italy or Australia or something.
Why?
Why Italy just has it. And we're recording this just before the Italian. The Euros final. Yeah. But there's just a sort of we eat as much as we like, and we
smoke the cigarette.
Be ourselves.
It's all just free sex and free drugs and bread,
carbs and loaded up on pasta.
Yeah.
Ashton, where would you like to be grown up?
Stepside Park.
All right.
Really?
Park. Really? Yeah. I wanted to live in Gorey. I wanted to live in a house in Gorey. Yeah, I told my mum that I wanted to move into Gorey from here, and now there's absolutely no way I'd ever want to do that.
Yeah,
that's the same thing.
Yeah.
When we were kids, that's all we wanted, to live in a housing estate.
Yeah.
I
So
suppose it would have been the
that.
crack and
Yeah.
the people around you.
Out on the green
Yeah.
and shit.
Because you always heard of your friends like knocking on each other's door, like knock for each other after school.
Yeah.
And you used to love doing it when you went there to play. Like, you're like, oh, we'll go up to such and such and we'll knock for them.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Do you ever have that inclination, though?
No.
Do you ever have any weird things as a child, like in that kind of regard? Because I had one. I wanted to be Andrew Stamp when I was younger. I told my parents I would change my name to Andrew Stamp. I don't even like the name Andrew, and I was going to go live with the Stamps, and I was going to support Liverpool.
Was that? Do you think? Looking back at it, do you think it's way into living with Gavin?
I think so. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know why I needed to change my name.
Yeah. It's just complete assimilation.
Yeah, yeah, just burn my bridges.
Hello, Paddy. No, sorry. Hello, Dad. I don't know. That is queer. Did I have any weird jokes? I'm sure I did, but none really spring to mind straight away. I'm sure I'll come to them after. I might take another one of these bad boys. There was an outdoor concert there in Westmeath. They had a drive-in concert in Kilbeggan, and there was a lot of guitar players on stage, and it was to mark American Independence Day. And take it to the limit. The Eagles tribute band had a packed audience at the drive-in concert, and people had come from Cork, Tyrone, Donegal, and Kerry. So there you are now. That's
Shout out, that was for the 4th of July, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. But
and did you see in America they're tearing down fucking yokes the Queen Elizabeth? Or in Vancouver they pulled down a big statue of her anyway with a load of ropes, all these protesters and people with purple hair.
That's gas. Well, I'd love to see the relocation of these posters. I don't get why they have to just come down and that's it then.
What are you going to put in the place of it, like RuPaul?
McGregor with the bandy leg.
McGregor. Oh, shout out McGregor.
McGregor. What about it though?
Elegant in defeat as usual.
Oh yeah.
No, gobshite.
I hear the post-match interviews really went down well with Rogan.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, did Rogan say anything about it yet?
Oh, not yet.
No, but like
something about accusations of bigotry, or not bigotry, but
adultery,
poor behavior with McGregor of cheating. McGregor was accused of cheating by the other fella, Peror.
Oh, yeah. What did he say? Because he was pulling his gloves down.
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
Well, like McGregor got bet, and he was sort of lying on the ground, and like McGregor or Joe Rogan had to interview him while he was sitting down on the ground because his ankle was broke. Yeah. And then while Poirier was walking out of the ring, he started shouting at him, "Your wife's in my DMs. Your wife's in my DMs. You fucking rat," or something. I don't know, but like that's not how you lose. Like, you're lying on the ground. He literally bet the shit out of you. Like,
yeah. So Poirier was the better man.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it now, but I seen some of the other fights, and he was like, Poirier is a better fighter. McGregor is 32 now, and like he's sort of past it.
Right.
And he doesn't seem to be the same man. Even in the interviews leading up to it, like he just didn't have the same air about him.
Right.
He sort of had an air of desperation I found off him. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Looking back on this one, they toppled down the poster or the statues because they were protesting the Commonwealth's treatment of Indigenous peoples. It's interesting, isn't it? Like, why? I don't know.
There's a point to it, like, isn't there? But
there is, but like, how you've brought down the statues? Is that it then? That's it now. Your trauma's over.
Yeah.
Go in peace. Love, son, Lord, thanks for God.
No, well, not those people. They're arrested now.
Are they?
I'd imagine so. That's not something that you're going to get away with. Like, you can't go tear. If I tore down the monument, do you think people would say, sure. That's how Marc deals with his own emotional issues. Tore down the monument.
Yeah, but I assume that the people tearing them down, like there are other people that are actually the impacted ones. Like, are there Indigenous people? Like, who tore it down? Who tore down the statues?
I don't know if it was even the Indigenous people.
And it's all about the unmarked graves. Apparently there were unmarked graves, just like what we had in June, that there were similar things in Canada. So it's awful.
Yeah, it's sad. Did you ever go to Glendalough and see the unmarked graves there of the babies and stuff? The ones that weren't christened, I think. Don't they get unmarked graves?
Yeah.
That's when my father told me when he was born that as soon as he was born, like they took the baby away from the mother and got it christened and then brought it back just in case the baby died. Back then, like, that wasn't that long ago. That was 50, 60 years ago. Like,
Jenny, yeah. It's bad.
Doesn't happen anymore.
No.
They're not, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't change fascinating? Like, I think maybe we've discussed before, but like, we've probably seen the most change in Ireland in the last 6 years. Like, it's just
6 years.
amazing. 60.
60. Oh, definitely, yeah.
Like, but it's been rapid. Like, I suppose getting back to rapid, but like, it's probably, it is for the good, but like, it's change. Like, it's all the same. It's like, I know some authors said it that we skipped the 20th century. We just went from the 19th to the 21st.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is it changing too fast? Like, are we forgetting a lot of, like, there's obviously some value to culture.
Yeah. I don't know, Mark. I don't know. I suppose we save it in different ways. Like, I don't know. Like, we have the likes of Michael Fortune going around and taking videos of lads and, you know, saying, yeah, bring back the bridges cross and that type of thing. Like, you know, it's not. I don't know. What would you like to bring back? I'd say bring back
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, I'd like a more authentic Halloween.
Right.
What else would I like?
I'd like a fair.
A fair.
Yeah. You know the way like they used to have
Dance halls.
markets. Yeah, dance halls. Yeah, they're a classic. Yeah.
We never got the dance halls or show bands or anything like that. We got fucking Storm Juniors. I never went to that. Or I think I might have went once.
Went once, yeah.
I had a
junior results night. Yeah. And the foam parties they throw. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Think of the climb.
Foam. Come on, lads. In the fucking bouncy dance floor out in the Beacon. What were we thinking?
I think.
Why are nightclubs gone altogether now as well?
Do you think?
I don't know. Ash, what do you reckon? Like, I know women prefer nightclubs to men. Men go to nightclubs and pretend to enjoy them to find women there.
Do you think?
But women like dancing.
Yeah.
You find me a straight man who likes dancing, and I'll find you a liar.
There was a nightclub up in Ashton's there in Leopardstown Racecourse, but it's closed now. 92.
For years.
90 Club 92, but there's something about it that's more authentic than the upstairs of a 64 or some sort.
I think it's the sticky floor.
Yeah, sticky floor. The fact that it's a race course in the daytime and it's a nightclub at the nighttime, you know, that dual clash of identity.
And you're able to get them in there from when you're about 15.
Yeah,
that helps.
It's a big factor. Yeah, getting in free to places as well.
Oh, and you could always get in free there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a big
thing.
It's a big ego boost, isn't it? When you get
it is,
free, yeah.
And looking back at it, like you're willing to get the stamp in the pub. What was before 11:30? You got the stamp and then you go back to McGovern's. You know. But
I remember that. Yeah, you go up and get the stamp and then go back down.
Yeah.
You go, half it right, lads. We may go up and get the stamp and come back. Yeah, I forgot about that because it was more expensive later, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they started charging later or something. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta be with the days.
Yeah,
because I drank a can and a half of cider last night and I was hungover when I woke up this morning.
Wow.
That's bad.
This is annoying. It must be annoying.
It's so annoying, like, because I don't get drunk.
Is it the same when you're on the IPAs and those trendy beers?
Yeah, beer makes me worse. Beer kind of makes me hungover before I'm drunk. Cider isn't as bad. But yeah, I had some weird yoke. Actually, if Roisin Kinsella is listening, I'm sorry, I drank it. It was hers, some fucking lime and kiwi yoke or something. And I just drank a can of Rockshore, but I was hungover then today. 26 now in 3 weeks, and I think it's beyond me. Like, my life has passed me by. What's left?
You've got a very low point.
Yeah.
Ryan, it's a pity you didn't join. Yeah. But we kind of covered this with Sean Sheridan as well. It's just like there's a point where you kind of have to let go of it.
Yeah, it's gone.
But would you not become a Guinness drinker? Is that not what you graduate to, or in the world?
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people drink Guinness now because, sure, people wouldn't have drank Guinness before, but now that you're allowed to drink pints again, I think everyone is going out and drinking Guinness and posting photos of their Guinness. But Guinness is grand, like, but it's not all it's cracked up to be either. I think we should all just stop drinking.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Someone was telling me about talking about drugs or whatever, and I said I'd try it once, even heroin, and if I liked it, I'd try it twice.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that.
They're getting big into speaking of drugs. I know Tim Ferriss has been banging on about for a good few months now, but like it seems like they're getting close to saying this is the way now psilocybin can be used in mental health treatment because of the openness, the way it peels back the layers, and you're more open in treatment health. It's very interesting. It's just the bigger colleges are starting to look at it now because it's got to a stage where, all right, that MDMA stuff works, you know.
Yeah, it's very effective for trauma, people who are at war and stuff, MDMA therapy. But like, it's not the same thing as going to fucking electric picnic and taking a load of ecstasy. Like, you're there with a guide, like, and you sort of, whatever emotions come up with you while you're there, they talk through they talk you through the traumatic experience and stuff. Like, it's a full, it's like, people that are adverse to it don't really realize what they're doing with it. Like, they're opening up areas of the subconscious and then talking through them. It's a form of psychotherapy. Like it's like psychotherapy on steroids. Like, but do you ever, like, I don't know, will that ever happen in Ireland? It'd be great if it happened in Ireland. I think there's a lot of people.
To hear that Brendan Kelly said that ketamine is being tried in Trinity College or something, and Tala, and he said that there are loads of people come forward for it. Remember?
A lot of people come forward for it.
Do you think it'll ever come for Ireland? Yeah. What do you mean by that, Mark?
Like, do you reckon you'll ever see psilocybin as a form of therapy for depression or end of life sort of therapy here? Because that's a big aspect of using psilocybin mushrooms, is the end of life acceptance. People who are dying, they give them these psychedelic trips and it reframes their view on death and how they see it, and then they more willfully accept
BJ over. Miller, if you heard the podcast, he's from the Zen Hospice, and he kind of expressed an open-mindedness to that because he's helped thousands of people to die, and like, we just think it loosens the, I suppose it's the whole idea that, you know, if someone is distressed, okay, so is it what sort of mental health illness is this? And then, oh no, it's actually existence. Okay, so what do we do there? Well, then you could bring in, you know, it was interesting to describe that process because I suppose over the last 50 years, we've seen a more, I think there's only starting to be a pushback on drugs in the last few years, whereas for the last 50 years, maybe drugs held center stage in treating mental health. And I'm not talking about drugs in the form of ketamine. I'm talking about, you know, ones that probably treat the behavior but not the source.
Yeah, a plaster on it, like.
Yeah,
they're like, antidepressants do have their side effects, like, as even like nearly any specialist you talk to in the field of mental health will tell you there are side effects. Like, we had your one there, Aoife Drury, telling us about the effects they can have on your sexual health, antidepressants. And then there's other forms with like weight gain and things like that. Like, there is a place for antidepressants because being impotent or being, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed when I said that, but being impotent or being overweight is better than being dead.
Right.
If you're going to kill yourself, if you're planning suicide, it's better to take an antidepressant that will keep you alive, even just short term. So then you can come off them and then work on becoming a whole human being again. But if it's down to where, you know, it's life or death, I think that is the place for them. But I don't think if you're just feeling sad or, you know, like you're stressed out at work or you're in a lot of arguments with your spouse or whatever, that antidepressants are the answer. I don't think so. I think that's a bad long-term strategy. I think long-term it will make things worse. So things like this, I think, like the psilocybin for clinical depression and things like that are a far better way of doing it. And it's a once-off. It's 8 hours and then it's over.
Yeah, is that it? Janie,
man. It's an 8-hour experience.
That's mad. Janie. Another news, there's a woman in Bettystown in Drogheda, and she's painting the wall. She got 3 schools to help her.
She used 3 schools to help.
She's been working on the new Bettystown road, and she got 3 schools there in Bettystown to help her out. They were working on a 115-metre wall, and they've coloured it with beautiful images there. A lot of Celtic type of imagery there. We've got the spirals, the sun rising, Ogham stones, and it's evoking that Celtic past there from around Newgrange and that there in East Meath. And so they started there on June 1st. They finished it just before they got their holidays there on June 25th. And so it looks great. So fair play to them.
It's no football.
Paddy Blues.
Yeah. Surely to God, someone has seen that in a position of authority.
Well, authority, or a shout out to the owners of Paddy Blues. I'm sure they've seen it like, Jenny, we could use the blue plate there that we have left over.
Yeah. There's no way you don't see that.
Should we take it upon ourselves, Mark, to get a tin of blue paint and paint over?
No way.
No
way.
Right. Okay.
That's a cultural landmark to me now.
Okay.
That's a news
that's up there with the books.
Anytime I see it, I'm like, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I drive by it sometimes on purpose just so I can see it. Like, 'cause it's so funny that it just says "fuck" on the wall. Who said, "Oh, here's my chance now to express myself"? Like,
Yeah.
fuck in capital letters on the wall of Paddy Blues.
Yeah.
That's our own version of Big Texas Comer.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Mick Wallace was in Jimmy's. Shout out to Mick
I
Wallace.
seen that.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
I don't know. It looked like we're having the right time. As Ashton pointed out, there's 42.70 on the table. So I'd say there. I don't know.
Oh, in money, like.
It is a great photo. Like in fairness, it's just.
It would be better spent on a new T-shirt, I think.
Like, look at that.
Or a haircut. Yeah, where's the rest of his T-shirt? Look at that. Look. Was he having pints or was he just shaking a few hands?
Well,
Jimmy's having a pint.
Jimmy's having a pint.
There's no pint for Mick.
No pint for Mick, just the mask.
Yeah. Who's that?
Shout out. Oh, there might be something to the side there. Maybe a bit of
I think Shandy or something.
Shandy. And shout out to Paul Boyle. He got his first cap for Ireland in the rugby. So shout out, Paul.
Bit of a fall from grace from the Mellows hurling.
Yeah.
He couldn't make it, but it's good to have a plan B sometimes.
Yeah, that's great.
It's great, isn't it? Like an Irish rugby player.
It felt great seeing him come on, all right.
Yeah. I didn't. You watched it, did you?
We did, yeah. Ash and I watched it there, yeah.
How did he go when he came on?
Oh yeah, sure. He was behind the man that was getting over the line for the try in the very distinct rugby language that you have. Yeah. So he was near the action anyway, and I'm sure he did very well. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't understand rugby, but he was in amongst the action there. Apparently, it was a very positive win for Andy Farrell because he saw all his subs do well. So because big lads are out in the lines and.
That's class, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so cool. There's no other Irish rugby players from around here, is there? Shane Byrne.
No,
shout out.
Shane Byrne, yeah, and the Popplewell. There was a Popplewell man that played for Ireland. He was very good. He was from Gorey as well.
Popplewell.
Yeah. P-O-P-P-E.
From the Gorey Rugby Club, was he?
E-double-L, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. There we are now. What else have we got in the world of news? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, I was going to say, we were about to talk to Ryan Devon and we'll have him on there shortly, but do you remember the story about he rode from Aberystwyth in Wales from Arklow to Aberystwyth in Wales, and that's part of the reason why we're having him on.
Yeah.
But 50 years ago, Mark, there was 4 or 5 lads in a pub in Cortown. They were around 16 or 17, and they said, will we go to Wales tomorrow? And they did. So they got together on a boat, and it must have been a rowing boat, yeah. And it was a canoe, sorry. It was a canoe, and it's in Redmond's, the 19th bar in Cortown. And they rowed over to Fishguard. And it was such a story that BBC were there on their arrival, and they had only just brought with them cans or bottles of Lucozade and this type of thing.
Jesus.
So
how long did it take?
I think it took a day because but it was such a risky endeavor in that, they could have met a sandbank. They could have, there was no precautions.
Waves.
Waves, yeah. The basic stuff, yeah.
I'm sure they anticipated that.
Yeah, but as they said themselves, it seemed like a good idea at the time. But their parents weren't too happy, I think, when they came back. So there were 4 lads, 18, 20, 21, and they actually used a little compass to set out, and I'm not sure how long it actually took. There wasn't a ripple on the water, they said, though. And a major search was launched because they didn't know where they had gone. They never told their family or anything. So the lifeboat was out and everything.
They told the BBC, but not their family.
Yeah. So they got the boat back, and then when they arrived in Rosslare, they decided, seeing their parents on the quayside, they got they thought they were in trouble, so they decided to paddle back to Cortown from Rosslare instead. So they really tried to avoid their their beating. But then when they returned home, they got a hero's welcome. I love this about Ireland. They got there was over 1,000 people there in Cortown, and the pipe band and the brass band welcomed them back.
When was this? In the 70s, was it?
50 years ago. So yeah, I'd say around the 70s.
What are the names of the people?
Well, Peter Sinnott is one.
From Ballygarrett?
I don't know now, Mark. Peter Donegan, they were from Cortown. And Seamus Organ, but he died a few years ago. Yeah, there were 3 lads, sorry. Peter Sinnott, Peter Donegan, and Seamus Organ. Shout out to ye, lads. There you are. So, there you are. Wasn't that some story for them?
Fair play to him.
Yeah. the bit of go in them anyway. You know?
And like this challenge, has Ryan done it yet, or is he?
Ryan
just
did
doing
it on the 1st of July. I'm sure he'll tell us all about it. But he started out at the Spire, then he went a really back arse way, running from the Spire through the Wicklow Mountains, through Powerscourt Lake, down through the spine of Wicklow County. Like he didn't go to the end
all
of
in one
way.
go?
Yeah, and then when he got to Arklow, hopped in a rowing boat with a mate of his and two lads that were kind of there for health and safety reasons. Landed in Aberystwyth, which is 96 miles from Arklow, then ran from Aberystwyth to, or could have been cycled, Aberystwyth to London, and arrived in the Shard in London. Really good story. There's a lot to him, this Ryan Devon fella, from Scarna across in Inch. So I'm looking forward to having a chat with him. I'd say he's out. Do you think it's coming home?
I hope not. I do hope not. Someone text, or my mother was saying earlier, someone sent a text saying when the only appropriate time to support England is when they're playing Dublin.
And that may as well be our flash flood today. I think a flash flood would definitely agree with that sentiment. That's a good one, yeah. Cool.
I've been watching a lot of murder stuff lately.
Oh yeah, Sophie
Murder
Toscan,
and,
the Pontier.
What's that?
Oh, that's the second one. I'm talking about this. This is the French woman who was murdered in West Cork 20 years ago.
Oh, right.
And there's been 2 documentaries released, one by Jim Sheridan on Sky Atlantic, and the other one is on Netflix. It's all crime. It's all about, because the murder, Ian Bailey is the man who's purported to have, well, Jenny, we're not going to go there. Ian Bailey is mentioned in the whole saga.
Who's Ian Bailey? He was a reporter.
Ian Bailey was actually a reporter at the time, but he was arrested at least twice, and he was actually found guilty in absentia. So he wasn't there in France, but a French court decided he was guilty without him being
of the murders.
Of the murder of Sophie. So sorry, but you were on a crime binge. What's this about?
Oh, so I watched the first one was a sort of horror Friday the 13th film. Have you seen that?
No.
Ash, the one with your man Jason.
No, I don't think so.
Recent one that came out. It's very good actually. Normally horror films aren't good, but this one was good. And I had horrendous nightmares afterwards.
Really?
Horrendous. Like I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't know what I was dreaming about. I don't remember any of it. But I slapped Breed in the middle of the night and I go, Breed. And she goes, what? And I go, they can't cancel it if you're not famous. And then I turned back over, went back asleep.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And then like today I was watching that Ripper documentary or whatever.
About Jack the Ripper.
I don't know, was it Jack the Yorkshire Ripper?
Oh, okay, right.
About them.
Yeah.
But also just a coincidence, that book, remember the Laws of Human Nature, Robert Greene, I was reading, in that it came up recently in it as well, that like the reason we're so attracted to these things, like the serial killer documentaries and crime and murder and stuff, is that that's all repressed parts of our psyches, and we get to live them out in these scenarios that we watch. Do you know, that's why we're so engaged to it. I heard a phrase before that if it bleeds, it leads. So like in stories and news and stuff, like murder is what everyone wants to that's what they want to follow, because we live in a civilization, and you know it's not okay to have these things, and these things are all like we shouldn't do them, but there still exists in us like the shadow, the dark part, the Genghis Khan and all of us, like that's what's attracted to that, and we finally get to live it out and sort of experience it through living vicariously through these scenarios.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's only through accepting that dark part that like you can feel whole as well, you know. I suppose.
And those who claim to be the best and the goodest, and you know, they're the ones who are they really fucking have it the worst, because they don't see it in themselves. They can't see that part of themselves, so they don't want to believe it's true.
Do you think that's what we're missing from social media? That, you know, we have to purport the positive and the good, but yes, there's a dark niggly side as well. But sure, I suppose we can't. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a danger if we live through our phones and we forget that
who you actually are.
That.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wonder, has this man integrated this in himself? This man is Liam Fenlon. He's 79 years young, and he ran 90 kilometers. He's Longford's marathon man. And so he did a Comrades Marathon, which is a 90 kilometer slog. He did it in 15 hours and 8 minutes.
Fuck.
Some going. So he did it around Longford town. And apparently it's a first for someone like him to have done it. The father of three is humble as he's relaxed about his record-breaking exploits and having completed 333 marathons. And now this is his first ever ultra marathon. He started running at 42. He's after getting down to 3 hours and 8 minutes of a marathon at 53, and he just wants to keep going as long as he can. Well, that's certainly what he's doing. And he says it's very good for the mind. It's much better for the mind than it is for the body. And he'd recommend anyone and everyone to at least exercise. Definitely it helps you to have a stressful, definitely it helps you if you have a stressful job. If you go out and do 3 or 4 miles, you don't have to do 20 miles. But I guarantee when you come back in and have a shower, you will feel an awful lot better.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's right too,
That's
isn't
a great
it?
quote.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's all simple. It's factual.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you need it. Would you ever consider an ultramarathon?
Yeah, I need to get back into any sort of long distance exercise because you get kind of
I'd love to do it, and I know it sounds like an excuse, but like GA and stuff, it doesn't work. They don't go well together. So like I have this idea that when I stop playing GA, I'm going to start doing long distance running. But then my fear is that like, am I going to be too old then?
Isn't it gas with the running thing? There's this kind of myth, I don't know, maybe it's not myth. The whole thing that running on the roads is bad for you. But like I say, smoking is bad for you and alcohol is bad for you.
Sitting
but
down in a chair, fucking Dunkin' Donuts is bad for you.
We don't, it's a funny one, isn't it? We kind of...
It's an excuse we give ourselves,
isn't
it? Like, we're all going to die anyway. You have to pick your poison.
Pick your poison. That's it.
I think the downsides of sitting down all day and watching telly and stuff are probably worse than having sore knees.
Yeah.
Like the what you get from, pushing yourself and being under pressure running, like that the benefits of that far outweigh the negatives. I think you live a more positive, stress-free life.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. Because I found myself getting kind of not lazy, but like
it's so easy.
It hurt me hamstring, and I kind of I was like, sure, I'm injured now, and I just do my rehab and stuff like that. But like that was an excuse too. Like there's other things I can do, and like I can be doing the ropes, upper body cardio type things, and I've started doing them again, and I'd say I feel at least like 50% better because I've started doing that and pushed myself. And like I was still lifting weights, I was still doing that, but it's not the same kind of thing as like the hard cardio for your mind. Like, lifting weights is fine and it is good for you, but you need to really suffer like to enjoy the other aspects of your life.
Yeah. So is that like when you're training, you do the weight stuff first, all right, but you always kind of end with as many rounds as possible or 6 minutes of hard stuff just to get it out of your system? Yeah,
for no other reason than that.
Yeah.
No other reason than to make myself strain and sweat and grunt because you need that. It's in your psychology, or it's in your biology to need that. Like you were talking about things speeding up, but our DNA hasn't sped up that fast.
No.
You still need to get these things out.
Yeah.
We still have these flight or fight responses.
Yeah.
Our body's still waiting for the fucking tiger.
Yeah. What's the tiger now? The delivery van driver or something.
The delivery van driver, the lady with blue hair giving out to you for saying a bad word.
Who's she?
Plenty of them around.
Another final news story from Dolores Cahill. She got 169 votes in the Dublin-based South by-election, and Ashton found 2 political TikToks earlier this afternoon. I was delighted she found them. It was of a guard after 90 minutes. He was pretty exasperated at this stage, and he was telling her that she needed to have to wear a mask to go into the council.
Yes.
Did you see the videos?
I've seen the videos, yeah.
Yeah. Were you impressed with the guard? I certainly was.
Yeah, I was. Was it? She said to him, I hope your mother's proud of you. And he goes, my mother is very proud of me.
Ecstatic. Yeah. What am I afraid of? I'm afraid of spiders. He was very quick-witted.
Did that lady
That's the
get
only
elected?
way to do it.
Was she
No.
No.
But she did get 169 votes out of it.
Yours and it's mine. 69. Namaste. But yeah, like who? Like I suppose there you have to. You're going to have these people, aren't you? Everywhere.
Yeah. I suppose like there might be frustrations and all, but like, isn't the world a better place? Well, maybe not for him because 90 minutes of his time was standing outside the door, not letting her. Oh my gosh. Your tax money went on his way to have to keep her from. But look, that's the way.
Well, he deserves it.
Oh, he deserves it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, he shouldn't have
she's
to.
created a situation where,
Yeah, and there are these people who deliberately want to argue with guards. Like that's the last thing that would ever come into my mind is to argue with a guard. Like, but these people start citing fucking numbers to him. And,
she goes to him. All police officers have to sign an oath or live by an oath or something.
You have to give me your number.
It's in my back pocket.
What's your guard badge number? It's like I'm allowed to film you. It's like okay, fine. Like I was just asking why you were doing it.
She actually said that because she's a peace commissioner, that she was putting him under arrest. It was a big
very peaceful of her.
personally.
Arresting a guard.
That's the way it is now.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
peace overcomes all, but you can't arrest guards with it. Like, imagine going around arresting guards. Who the fuck is this lady?
But she used to be a lecturer in UCD, and UCD kicked her out there because of her views on COVID.
Oh,
yeah.
she wasn't wearing a mask or anything like that.
Yeah, and she was kind of becoming more aggressive and outspoken in her views, and so there you are now.
You would look back fondly on your UCD days, would you?
Yeah, I would know. Yeah, I you're a small part of a big ocean. Like I think there was 27,000 students when I was there. Like, you know, the size of Leitrim is around you, and you know, so yes and no. Like, yeah.
Could you have seen yourself as being one of these lifelong students? You know, that does their undergrad, grad, PhD.
You don't fully understand it, but
No.
James Hood told you that if he won the lotto, he would do a PhD, and I totally understand.
Yeah,
I would definitely be with him. It's like I don't know. It's like you saying you get a sauna and a gym in your own house when you have it, because like if you then have a PhD, you can explore any new area. You could decide I'm going to look at mental health in women between. You know, you can go as narrow an area as you like, and there's so much unexplored. Like, I think I'm more interested now in mental health and the psyche and what's going on in our heads, because I don't think we fully know everything about it. But then I don't know basic science, but like, you know, I still have this wild view, but as Ashton would vouch for. But where is this coming from? Is that there is so much unexplored. In history terms, in America, they're doing PhDs on marginalia, which is what people used to write in the margins of essays and books. Like, we are so far away from that here in Ireland. So like, PhD is where you feel like you can add value to the world in an area that has been totally unexplored and uncharted.
Yeah. See, I'd view the PhDs in a different light. Like,
go on.
When I see him,
would
like,
you see it as masturbation? I'd say, man.
mental masturbation. And these lads who sit around in their trench coats, smoking rollies and drinking espressos, and then just looking at people that are actually out there building infrastructure as the idiots, like sitting on their holes, fucking. Yeah, that
is the clash.
Yeah. People are actually contributing to society, building the fucking bridges, doing the work. You're there reading about fucking Freud's hairstyle for 2 weeks and calling them idiots.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. But sure, that's the way it is now. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't change it for the world, but I know this man wouldn't change it neither. Do you think there's a lot going on in this photo? I know we always comment on it, but like, why is it so dark, Mark? You know, like, there's definitely an intention behind the photo here.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? There's it sums him up. Like, there's no facade about him.
Yeah.
You could tell the way he hurled too, like.
Yeah,
that sums him up. Like.
I like how Bifadro always stands up for him, because you know the way Dave it's lauded because, you know, it's personality or whatever. I have more power to him.
Yeah.
But like Liam Dunn did work there to get those players where they are now today. So that's why we're going to read from his book. What page would you like, man?
69.
Okay.
No one's done it yet.
Really?
No, I think someone done 68.
All right.
There's blood on page 68.
Oh, wow.
What's that line at the top of it? There's a quote there.
Youth will come here and beat on my door and force its way in. It's from Henrik Ibsen. I never heard of that. I suppose we'll go for, not for the first time, but for an entirely new reason. I nearly choked on my pint of Guinness and almost felt queasy. Surely this couldn't be right. This is when he won the All-Star, but Cork's Tomas Mulcahy, one of the game's superstars, came over straight away and congratulated me. I wasn't on magic mushrooms after all. I had actually won an All-Star.
I think we read that line before.
I think we did. Yeah. Go for another one.
Yeah.
One wag had said to me, "What the Jesus do you want to go down to those louts for? It's boxing gloves." We read that before as well. This is weird.
We're getting through
it. Kush was not the fastest, but he was pushing the boat out and staying at the front for as long as he could before drifting back a bit. The winner in him was coming out. The winner in him was coming out. I love that. I love that. The winner is inside of us all today, Paper Tuesdays, and that's why you're going to have a great week.
Have a great week, guys.
Yes, yeah. If you check out our Patreon, where Mark Halpin has given you a Gory Guardian briefing.
Yeah, and if you see Ryan Davin, tell him we're looking for him.
Yeah. Namaste. That's all.